I let go, I release, and I know I forgive, I receive, I can feel, I believe, I am healed, I am whole, I release, I know. Breathe, no need to push.
Sister Jenna is one of the purest, most sublime spirits I've encountered. Gentle voice, gentle sound, but booming spirit. She makes life more graspable. I listen to her, I see and sense and say to her and about her. She's a woman of good, a woman of God, a woman of elevated consciousness. I'm so glad to be a part of your life and that you are a part of mine and that we are all together a part of each other's. Peace and blessing.
Hello everyone, I'm Sister Jenna. A few years ago, I had a vision. The vision was comprised of witnessing members of Congress really going through a very tumultuous time. I had envisioned that within the walls of Congress, there were questions about trust between themselves, but there was also the question of trust with Americans and the leadership of the country. So I went about to search for members of Congress who would be open to share with me the depths of their heart, what was at the base of their conscience. And I came across some of the most beautiful people that I walked away with this experience that our country is in good hands. Here we are many years later, maybe about 4 or 5 years later, after I had actually initially recorded Soul Talk on the Hill. And we're witnessing stuff that we have never seen in the United States of America. trust within the walls of the United States Congress is at the all-time lowest it has ever been. As you know, just a few weeks ago, there were riots on the Capitol Hill. It was an insurrection. There were a lot of people hurt emotionally, mentally, physically. Soul Talk on the Hill invites me into the walls of the halls of Capitol Hill to sit and have a heart-to-heart conversation with members of Congress about what matters to them the most, what's at the base of their heart, their character, the content of their deepest, most innermost feelings. Never before has there been a meditation expert or an emotional wellness expert or even a yogi soul, however you want to put me in whatever label you want to. But there's never been someone like me that's been given the trust and the honor to enter into the walls of Capitol Hill and have a heart-to-heart conversation with our congressional leaders. What I love about Soul Talk on the Hill, it makes us see them for who they really are. Put aside all the political jargon that goes on. We get to see really who are the people that are creating our policies, voting for our rights. These are good people. And given the opportunity to really speak from the depths of their heart, the country, our cities, our districts will continue to keep thriving. As See Good TV re-releases this season of Soul Talk on the Hill, it is my pure wish that you sit back and relax and enjoy each of the episodes. Just go into the content, the questions, their expressions. You'll learn a lot about these people. They're good people. For anyone right now, it's a hard time. Globally, in the United States, it might be even more so, one of the hardest times it has ever endured. But I know that we will prevail, and I know that we will succeed. Soul Talk on the Hill is to invite you to give our congressional members a second chance, to begin to find ways to communicate with them from matters of heart and not matters of the political spectrum. What's more important than anything is what is the need of the time internally, and how does my conscience and my heart find peace in my choices? Soul Talk on the Hill asks important questions, and the congressional leaders gave very profound answers. If you've got any comments or anything you'd like to share, please feel free to let us know. We would love to hear your feedback. Soul Talk on the Hill is not endorsing any political parties or any candidate. It is simply having a heart-to-heart conversation with those who gave me the permission to come into the sacredness of their office and delve into their hearts. Enjoy Soul Talk on the Hill. Be well. Be safe. God bless you. Please, take care of yourselves. Hello everyone, Om Shanti, welcome to your next normal. Glad to be with you today as usual and every Monday through Friday at this particular time. And aren't you appreciative of technology that even if we can't join in live, we can always connect to it later on? I guess for me the live dynamics is really just about the connection that we have online. So that always means a lot to me. So just to do something a little bit different today, just doing a shout out to the clan on. Let me see who is on early. Let's see who is really on early. Who's a number one first class student? So Grace, Om Shanti. How is the angel Grace doing? Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Kailash, Dr. Sukhdev, Om Shanti, nice to have you. S. Watson, good evening, welcome. Ranju, welcome, warm greetings. Shobha, when are you coming home to visit? Om Shanti, give my love to Noratham, bye. And Wendy Cummins, good evening to you too. Nancy O'Neill, warm welcome. Annette Henry, Denise Oliveri, Bryn, nice to have you. Hope studies are doing well for you and you're enjoying your studies and it's not too intense, and that you're putting the best of yourself in everything that you do. So warm greetings and good wishes. Louise F., thank you always for your kind remarks, your comments, your engagement. I know that at times we do feel it's a normal, cultural space that we're in, that we're listening to something and we just stay back and we receive and we receive and we receive. Then when we feel we've really taken something and then I give it back and I bestow it, then it becomes what Baba calls fortune. Because now you're in service. Because everybody who sees your lovely comments, they become maybe inspired, or they start to feel a little bit like excited or intrigued. And then they might just come on board. And that's how we can continue to be more engaged in service with just some of the comments that you share, the messages that you send, taking that time, taking that sincere moment, that time. And I know that now that the elections are over, the inauguration is over, we have a new president and a new vice president, the world feels a little, what's the word? Please text me what you think America feels a little bit to you. Calmer, is that a word? Calmer. It feels quiet. And it's interesting because for years we've had to acclimate ourselves to distraction and chaos for years. And that's not even including the pandemic, And it was so interesting. There was always this jarring energy. And now it's like, okay, yes, no, yes. It's incredible, huh? How are you all feeling? Please share. What have you been going through? Now that it seems like things are a little bit more at peace, and I put my quotations, more at peace, don't become complacent. This is actually the time that you really need now to step up and give what is needed to not only wash away all of that vibration, but to be able to really participate in the kind of a healing that United States will require in the next few years, but also healing just on a global level where you are. Everyone is going through something very unique. I don't spend a lot of hours with my eyes on a tube, except if I'm working on the Zoom meetings and all of these things. But on the day of the inauguration, I consumed more information than I really needed to, right? And yesterday, I was like a jello. My brain was like blah, 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 like this. And I realized that as I went inwards to try to start a new narrative, a new experience, that I would be able to gain a realization from and finish whatever I was feeling. The life of me, everyone, I couldn't find that thought. No matter how much I went inwards and I'm speaking to the family and I'm telling them, I can't even find a thought that will just take me out of this feeling. And so I just wrote it out, ended up organizing and doing things pretty late last night. But then when I woke up this morning, I felt great. And I think that had to do with the energy that I was putting in yesterday, even though I couldn't finish. The feeling I was having. I won't even say it was even a feeling. It was just jello. You know, it was just like cloudy, foggy. I had put too much information in, which I wasn't processing at the level that I needed to. And even as I was watching the news, the inauguration and these things, I usually send vibrations to whoever is on screen. Because I look at this as they are offering me a service that's tapping into my emotions, my life, my thinking, my way of seeing things. And so whether they're entertaining me with their music, or they're entertaining me with their art of acting, or they're entertaining me with the news or updates or information, the person who's playing that role, it's like, well, let me just send my blessings and good wishes. Thank you. Thank you. The other day, I think there's been a lot of outcry for people to delete WhatsApp. They claim that it's going to be taking your data by February so-and-so. Most of your data would be handing over to Messenger or some other platform, or they're going to be merging it with Facebook of some sort. I don't know all the logistics. But I remembered I was on this group list and everyone was like, oh yeah, we have to get out of Facebook and then we have to do this and go this and this and that. And I remembered responding to everyone and go, look, I get it. We're going to change whatever needs to be changed. We go to another platform. But don't forget, WhatsApp gave you years of free phone calls, free video calls. It gave you years of being able to connect with friends and family for free. Do you all remember those days with Ma Bell? When you would make a long distance call and it would cost $20, $30? Who remembers those days? Come on, speak honestly. And here we have WhatsApp, where I could be on India for 6 hours and I'm not going to get charged. So let's just say that so many years have passed by that I have taken the service of WhatsApp for free, and I haven't given back WhatsApp a price, or I'm giving them a donation, or I've given them my blessings. Now that they're planning to move on to something else, to do something more, everyone's like, oh, well, leave WhatsApp, let's go to Signal, let's go to Viber, let's go to Telegram. Oh, these are good. And what I was observing for me is just a kind of a consciousness I think we need to finish, and it's the consciousness of being a taker. When we have this consciousness of taking from the society, taking from your marriage, taking from your children, your in-laws, your friends, taking from your government, your country, and there isn't the same amount of enthusiasm or energy in your giving, then you eventually become empty and dry. And you then basically become an energy that says, you know, I'm just here to really take and use what I can. And the reason why I'm pointing out this story, which I think is really important, when I sent my message to this group and I was telling them, please be aware that WhatsApp gave us free, you know, so much for so many years. As we change or we decide to change, please give them your blessings and tell them thank you for the seva. And what that's going to keep creating in you is to understand that everything that you do, every action that you perform, has some sort of a tenure to it. It carries a particular vibration to it. Whether you even think you're starting something new or you're even finishing something, but every act that you perform has a kind of an energy to it. If you're going to end a marriage, it's an act. So in one part you're ending the marriage, but in another part you're starting anew. We ended 2020 and we started a new year. We ended a presidency and we started a new one. You see, it actually doesn't stop. It's continuous and it's cyclical. And so what if we were to get into the habit of being these bestowers of gratitude, bestowers of appreciation, bestowers of kindness? What if we develop the habit that everything that I get myself involved with, let me start with the attitude of benevolence? Even if I'm going to get off of my social media platform, like you still tell it, thank you. Thanks, you really connected me so easily to so many people. I've appreciated it. When the lockdown had started for us and we first went online from March 16th of 2020, for the first 3 months, I think almost just about every day, I would thank the inventor for Wi-Fi. And I just used to just appreciate whoever were the ones behind inventing the Wi-Fi and taking up the satellites up into outer space so we can be connected. I just said, wherever you are, thank you. When's the last time you gave thanks to the inventor of electricity? So many things that we've taken for granted, I think we need to stop taking for granted the things we need to continue to appreciate. Wi-Fi. Sending a satellite up in space. Electricity. We've had a few nights, I think, when we had a power outage because we're a little bit like in the moondocks, like in the country. And whenever there are storms, whether it's an ice storm or it's a rainstorm or a windstorm, and we have about 75 trees around where we are around the house. So a lot of times the branches are falling, or somewhere on the main road, the tree might fall over and break the wire, the electrical wire, because they're still outside. And so the electricity will go. And whenever the electricity goes, everything stops. Everything. The system stops, the phones stop, the light goes out, and the house and the neighborhood, especially at night, gets so quiet. So quiet. You can hear your deepest thoughts with clarity because it gets so quiet. We need to start to value the energy of silence, and in valuing the energy of silence, we will find it very easy to value the small things in life which eventually make you into a big person of life. You can't get huge, big assignments if you've never really taken care of the small, important details or small things. It's going to be way over your head. It'll be like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to act like I do. Dr. Fauci said today, yesterday, he was saying, I feel kind of liberated. I can now speak what I want to speak, but also I'm in a particular setting that if I don't know the answer, then I'll just say, I don't know the answer. I won't guess it. And I just thought, well, that is a freedom, isn't it? So that has stopped, not having all the right information, that has stopped. And now we are starting anew, a next normal, in sort of almost reimagining how does government work in the United States. Can you imagine what we've been through for the last 4 years or so? And the whole question in our mind, how was government before? How do you run government again? Imagine what's going on with all of these individuals that are getting involved with this new administration. How much putting things in order, how much energy they have to put in right now. And one of the things that I would really invite you to start is to think about those behind the scenes moments or people or situations. Because when you kind of think about what it must be like for them to be getting all the paperwork and catching up with what is in line, what's been happening, how are things moving, what's going on with the hacking, what's going on with COVID, what's going on with immigration, what's going on with children in cages, what's going on with the military. Can you just imagine how much they have to be so prepared to really be full on, and they have to start everything anew, and they cannot be distracted, and they cannot blame anyone before them as to what has taken place or did not. All they know, I have to start my assignment, I have to see it through and nurture it, and we have to finish it, and then we move on to another. I remembered my interview with filmmaker Bill Bennett. I don't know if you remember that one on fear. If you haven't seen it, please go back to it. Just type in Bill Bennett and Sister Jenna. It'll come up. He's released a new documentary movie that is still in the process, but he's released some parts of it on his website, which is called, I think, Facing Fear Interviews. And Bill Bennett was sharing that in Australia, where there are almost 30 million residents, there has only been 900 deaths by COVID. And he said that one of the reasons why he feels Australia has done so well was because the government didn't take money over the people. They didn't value the money over people. They more valued the lives of their citizens, and then they knew the money would eventually work itself out. 900 people have died of COVID in the year in Australia. Yes, the population is considerably smaller than ours. We're about 333 million in America, but in India it's 1.4 billion. India's second. Brazil is third. So what happens when we start to look more at what matters the most? And I want you to think about this for yourself too. What matters to you? And what do you feel in your heart you must finish and just dissolve and disappear, like as if it never happened? And as a result of that, what are you ready to start and see through? Some of us have the talent of being a multitasker, and we can do 5 things at one time and finish it without any major, circus or fanfare. You just get it done. Some individuals will take one thing and there's chaos around the whole one thing, and still they don't complete it. What do you think is the reason for that? Any ideas? Is that you get distracted. And when you're not able to really focus on what's at hand and what's in front of you, then a lot of other thoughts that are recorded in your personality takes you over. And it starts to pull you in places that you think is more important. Today is a cute scene. This little angel was vacuuming the rug today, and many times when they do use the vacuum, they tend to like to vacuum the cords, the curtains, and things like that. So as I was watching this angel vacuuming, and they vacuumed up a string that was connected to the blinds, and then the blinds were on the floor, and I'm watching them at the side now like this. And you know what they did? They just took that vacuum and left it there and walked away. That was it. And as I watched them walk away, I just gently said, hey, you want to try to see if you can take that cord out of the vacuum? And then they went in another direction. And then I called them back again and I said, why don't you just try to see if you can just pull out the string. Remember I told you don't vacuum where there's string or the curtain, because the vacuum cleaner will pull everything down. And so she says, yeah, I'll get to it. So hours passed and I'm looking at the vacuum cropped up and nobody has finished that assignment. It's just there. And I had to come along and pull everything out, put it all together, roll it up, put it away. And what I was thinking to myself is, how many times do I start something and I don't finish it and it's dangling? It's just dangling. It's just hanging around. Like you see cobweb dangling or insects dangling from the ceiling or a bat dangling upside down. Or just things dangling, even when you're driving on the highway. I never know how they get those sneakers on those electrical poles or wires, and there's just one sneaker with the lace, and I'm like, how did they get that up there? Or a shoe, and I go, how did they get that up there? It's just dangling. It feels unfinished. And the most important thing about starting and finish is that every thought is an energy, and every thought that you have is a seed. And once you create that thought, it creates a progeny. It will grow in one way or the other, or it will take up space. And so if from tonight we can accept that every thought I creates some energy, it has an energy. Have I fed this thought? Is this thought what I want? Is this towards my future? Is this what Baba wants? Is this the thought Baba wants me to have? While Antonia and I were working in the office upstairs, I was sharing with her that I don't really get thoughts that I won't put into action. And whenever I do get certain very, very strong thoughts, I do check myself and I do ask Baba, is this from my past or is this my vision? And Baba has always shown us that your vision will pull you, but your past pushes you down. You'll feel the difference, as if you're being weighted versus flying. It's a big difference. So today when we were working in the office and I was sharing with Antonia, I said, this has been coming up now for a while and there's no need for me to have this thought and this feeling. On top of it, I'm not even fond of this particular thing. And yet it is saying, you need to do something in this area because there is a karmic responsibility, there's a benefit in this, there is something that is ordained for you to do and nobody else. And I said, it's so interesting that this thought would keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. And it keeps saying, you have to see this through. Now, I don't remember putting the thought in my consciousness. The thought emerged as a result of the recording of the soul's journey for many, many births. And somehow being able to be in the space that we're in, maybe it's the pandemic, maybe it's the fact that we're no longer traveling outside, maybe it's the fact that we're a lot more introspective than we're accustomed to, or maybe it's because of my medicines that I'm on. I don't know. But all I do know is it's imperative for each and every one of us to recognize, acknowledge, and accept that the thoughts you create inside of your personality, or the thoughts that emerge inside of your personality, have meaning. Now, let's just say the thoughts are waste or negative, and they can be very, very painful at times. Sit with God, and you and God together look at that thought and ask, Baba, this isn't a thought I want. This isn't a thought you would want inside of your child. Let's finish it here and now. So then you look at the thought in your head, and you can decide, does this thought give me flight, or does it bring me down? Does this thought have wisdom and energy and a high vibration, or does this thought have a low vibration? You know the answer. You already know it. And so when you are able to be this open and honest with yourself, which might be important for you in 2021, to really rekindle and start a new relationship with yourself. And it doesn't matter if when you start to redo this relationship with you, or rebuild this relationship with yourself, that you find that you go through some tough moments with your own personality, that you're recognizing things about you you're not really fond of anymore, or you're recognizing aspects of yourself where I shouldn't waste my time in this energy anymore. Or you begin to say, there's so much more in me. I can't begin to tell you, everyone, how many folks I talk to or text in a day who continue to tell me, I wish I could do more with my life. And they say it again and again and again to me. And I think even, I was talking to Antonia, I says, you know, we're blessed with service. And still, the soul says, but there's so much more to do. There's this natural energy in the soul that has a great amount of capacity to express, to grow, to serve, to love, to understand, to cooperate, to be kind, to be generous, to be peaceful, to be respectful, to be cheerful, to be determined. There's so much scope in us being able to feed that energy. And the more we're feeding that vibration of energy in our personality, we finish all the low vibrational thinking. It just won't have any power over us anymore. It just dissolves away and disappears like magic. Mm-hmm. I mean, it'll creep up ever so often, but it does go away. It does. Some of us, we need physical companionship. Some of us find it easy to live by ourselves. Some of us need a whole bunch of noise to feel a sense of, community. Some of us need absolutely no noise in order to think. We're all just different. But yet, we're the same at a soul level. Every one of us thrive for capacity building, to be more for ourselves, not even for anyone else. Everybody strives for love and peace and purity, the expressions of life that are important in making relationships work. And if we just focus our thoughts and keep focusing our thoughts in that direction, then we're going to finish all waste and all negative thought forms that tend to distract us from the real essence of who we are. Another thing we need to stop: judging, criticizing, comparing, competing. I see it all the time, If somebody says, well, this one's better than that one, so I'll go over there. And somebody says, oh, do you know this one's like this, so they're not like that. Well, they're not good. This one's better. And if you were to ask them if they even had a relationship with the other person, they would say no. But they have a relationship with you, but they'll be like, oh, no, that's not it. But they'll go somewhere where they have no idea if it is it. And just before coming on, I was sharing with Santosh how so many of us keep thinking that, is it a race that's the right race? Is it a religion that is the right religion? It is a country that has the answer? Is it somebody that speaks a particular dialect or language? Is it somebody who knows Kung Fu, mantra, what you call it, Tai Chi, or who has the answer? And I would say each and every one of us. We hold the answer within ourselves. And that's why meditation is so important, to turn inwards and find your answer. So that all the old stuff can be dissolved. All that body consciousness can fall away. Let's go into a little meditation together and enjoy one of my really precious brothers in the UK, Brother Mike George. He did this nice meditation called the Dissolving the Body. And I'd like you to sit back and just really dive into this experience. I'm pretty sure you'll gain some deep experiences. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Take a deep breath again. And exhale. One more time. Take a deep breath. And exhale.
Where you're totally comfortable. Both feet flat on the ground. And then take all your attention down to the very tips of your toes. Be aware only of your toes. Just move the muscles in your toes slightly. And then consciously relax those muscles. Imagine they're dissolving into liquid and flowing away. And then bring your attention to the soles of your feet. Left and then right. Just tense those muscles slightly. And then once again, imagine that tension dissolving and flowing away. Come to the calves of your legs, left and then right. Be aware of those muscles, tense slightly, and then once again, relax. Let the tension flow gently away. And then come to your thighs. Just move those muscles a little bit, be aware of them, tense slightly, and then imagine them turning to liquid. And that tension flowing away. Then come to your hands. Move your hands, your fingers, the lower parts of your arms. Just tense the muscles. Be aware of that part of your body. And then just rest one hand on top of each thigh. And then once again, just imagine any tightness, tension, dissolving and flowing down through your arms, through your hands, and out through the ends of your fingers. And then come to your shoulders, to your neck, and just imagine any tightness Be aware of any tension. Across the back of your shoulders. Hold your attention at the top of your spine, just below the neck for a moment. And then gently drop each shoulder down. And imagine that tension dissolving and flowing away down through your arms, through your hands, and out through the ends of your fingers. Then come to your face, your jaw. Just move the muscles in your jaw a little bit. Be aware of that part of your face. And then relax. Consciously relax those muscles. And then bring your attention to your forehead, to your eyebrows. Be aware of that part of your face. And then relax. As the tension flows away. So now your whole body is totally relaxed in the chair. And all your attention is up here in the center of the forehead. And we'll just be quiet for a few moments as we relax the muscle of our minds.
Space
Sometimes when you need to finish a feeling, you just have to get into your stillness. And your stillness is connected to your love. And your love is connected to Baba, to God. And the healing force of silence can change the worst scenario into the best opportunity. Something we need to start. Start healing ourselves by practicing to have a moment like this where you had this wonderful meditation and then you went into something to open up your bhavana, your feelings. And as you were turning your attention inwards, wherever your attention goes, it flows, right? So you're turning your attention inwards. So what starts to happen is that you start to flow at a spiritual level rather than at the human body conscious level that we're used to. When you develop this practice of, knowing that it's not like things start and finish and that's it. Things start to finish because there's something else that wants to start and finish. We're in this perpetual wheel and it will never stop because soul is energy and soul never dies. So it will never stop, but what we aim to achieve are experiences. When the soul decides to stop playing the part inside of this body, whatever's the name, the gender, the color of the skin, the shape of the eyes, the hair texture, the religion, the language, it's the soul that creates all of this. The soul, based on the experiences that the soul is carrying for many, many lifetimes, it creates your eyes, it creates your nose, it creates your lips, your skin, your hair, your hands, your whole structure, your gender, your environment, your relationships. All of that is happening just at a soul level. And one of the things that we must stop is thinking that our whole life is defined by what I see with my two eyes. It is not. Our life is defined by the pure, sentient experiences and feelings the soul creates or has in itself when it speaks to another, when it cooks a meal for someone with love, when it washes the clothes, when it washes the dishes, when it irons, when it types on the computer, when it picks up a phone call. It's the soul that's doing it all. And if we can start as of tonight to pay that attention, to become aware, to know that I, the soul, have this opportunity to start any task with the attitude of benevolence, with this attitude of awareness, knowing that whatever I do or say carries on. It just doesn't end. It goes on. So when the soul stops playing the part through this body, what the soul will take with it will not be your gender, will not be your race or your religion, but it will be all the experiences that you shaped, you created through your instrument of the body. What were your thoughts? What were your feelings? What were those motives or intentions that drove you to say what you said, to do what you do, to be who you've become? What is it? And what we've got now in our lives is the opportunity to find the courage to delve into the light that we are and to live from that light as much as we can. There are times we're going to turn off our own lights on ourselves. We're going to say, boop, I don't want to see it. You turn off the light, Om Shanti. But still you're in the dark, you know, and you still haven't found an answer. And that's why you have to switch on the light of consciousness and keep looking at yourself with courage and find out, where are these feelings coming from in me? When am I going to stop feeling anxious, stop feeling afraid, stop worrying, stop competing, stop being jealous, stop wanting what somebody else has? The list is endless. When am I going to start being what I need to be to attract the abundance of what I believe I deserve? Am I making sense to anyone out there today? Start that which you will find pleasure in sustaining. And everything comes to a close to create a new beginning. Because the tendency of human beings is to take something until it no longer fills you up. And then the soul moves on to someone else or something else to give it more. That's the tendency of the soul. And so imagine if you're living your life just based on always the taker, then when do you really fill yourself up by you being the giver? So the more that you're pulling light from above, and you look at yourself in front of that light and see that that light is you. And whenever you see yourself as that light that you are, it has so much grace in it. There's something so true about it. So kind, so gentle, yet so strong. So let us keep kind of remembering that once you start your journey inside of yourself and you really begin to focus on the huge universe behind your eyes, and you start just exploring everything that is behind your eyes, all those feelings and emotions and visions and wishes, all of them are connected to your story and nobody else's. And if any feeling comes over you that is connected to algae, turn up the volume of your virtues and values and the algae will go. It's that simple. Find your courage and your determination to tap into the light that you are, and algae will go. Sometimes it feels really hard. I told you yesterday I looked for that one thought that could get me out of the energy that I was in yesterday, and I couldn't find it. And so poor Santo, she's like, it's okay, sister. I just can't find the thought. I just feel like jelly. I just can't. This is how I was yesterday. But in the back of my mind, I am looking for props, something that I can connect to that is connected to my higher version of myself. I'm definitely not going to find it on the news. But I kept looking for something that would tap me and say, you're going to be an angel. You're going to be a deity. You're a world server to uplift millions. And I was looking for that energy to remind me of who I am. And even though I might not have found it yesterday, I kept thinking, but I must. And I contribute to my awakening this morning, feeling like yesterday never happened, because deep down, even though there wasn't a great, amazing moment, there was still an amazing thing that was going on. I had started the work to say, no, I'm not going to stay in this place. I'm not going to stay in the place that I'm in. I have to stop allowing my past to imprison me. And I have to acknowledge and recognize how much capacity and strength I have to create the future that I feel is pulling me. And if the future to me, you either are supposed to be pulled in service to becoming an angel, to becoming a deity. I don't see any other options. It's okay to be a CEO of a major corporation. It's okay to be like Elon Musk, the richest man in the world. But I don't have to aim for that anymore. Most important thing, start with really seeing how you can begin to direct the energy of your life towards being a server, an angel, a deity, and finish anything that gets in that way of becoming that by amplifying the virtues and the qualities and the values and the positivity to just keep moving you forward. Okay? So, start what you wish to sustain. Finish what is getting in your way. Start what you wish to sustain. And finish what's getting in your way, where your distractions are. All right. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. I hope today was very special and endearing for each and every one of you. And I hope everyone's taking extremely well, taking care of yourselves very, very well. And yes, this is our time to really do the work, to bring our world together, to bring each other together, to bring our hearts together. And I'm even beginning to think we here, as that intimate, loving community that we are, we can do something to be more of service for the world. And we might need to start to have that conversation sometime soon. So even if you have any ideas out there to do service or to be of service, or if you have any ideas out there that you'd like to offer and what we can do more of here as well, please send those in to meditationmuseum@gmail.com, and we'll do our level best to respond to them as quickly as possible. But it's a new year, it's a new dawn, it's a new way of life, and we should be feeling so good now. This is our time. Don't let it pass you by. Don't get complacent. Don't get relaxed. Don't think everything now is okay. We still have to push forward as if the Titanic is sinking. And we have to let the whole world know, look, this is what we have to do. And just do it. DK? Okay? All right. Have a great evening. Rest well. Eat well. And I'm looking very, very forward to seeing everyone tomorrow. Take care. Hi everyone, it's Sister Jenna from America Meditating Radio. I hope you've been enjoying Wiseish, which you can get live on Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube from 8:30 a.m. to 8:45. But you can also get it on demand 24/7. It's going to be your power boost for the morning. It's your daily dose for the soul. It's just going to encourage you to make the day that much more valuable. So join us. Looking forward to seeing you.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. my wonderful friends, my wonderful